I'm all good, mate. How's yourself?
Not bad, mate. Living the dream, as they say.
Good, mate. Good to hear. I thought I would normally start it off, mate, is I start like, where did you first come into like combat sports and things like that? Where did it all start for you?
What? As in like the BKB or as in
Just
overall?
fighting in general, and any type of combat sports.
I was into my weightlifting when I was younger, probably from about the age of about 20 sort of thing. And then as I got sort of bigger and older, I sort of thought that fitness might have something to do with, becoming old healthily sort of thing.
Yeah.
Before I knew it, I was in hospital through my steroid abuse, and when I was in there, I had some time to think, and I thought about having a boxing fight, just because it was a sort of something I'd always set in my mind that I wanted to have at least one competitive fight.
Yeah.
So I come out of hospital, signed up to an unlicensed fight. It was actually on. It was quite a big dude. There's a fella down London. You probably know him, Colin Leach. He was fighting
Yeah.
on a show, and I was doing security at the time, so we was friends. And he said about fighting on the show, so I said yeah. Fought on the show, lost that fight, lost my first fight. I was outpointed. There's a few factors to it, but I can't piss and moan. I loved every second of it. Give me the buzz, mate. And then from there, I think I had 21 unlicensed fights, won 18 of them, and then I didn't start boxing until I was 28, you see. So I knew I was quite old. I thought I could only sort of make a scene on the unlicensed thing sort of thing.
Was it something that you'd always wanted to do? Like when you were younger, was it something that you'd always wanted to do, be a boxer?
I used to watch the sort of Mike Tyson, at the time, like my dad used to get me to watch Marvin Hagler, and what a great sort of fighter he was. Not a particular boxer, but what a great fighter, And I did watch him with them glazed eyes, with the thousands of people watching him, seeing on telly, thinking, oh, wow, maybe one day. But to be fair, it was more the wrestling. It was more... like the WWF that I watched, and see the thousands watching these big muscly men and thinking, I want to be like that when I'm older, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it did give me that initial thing, but I think it was more because I was doing security at the time, at a few nightclubs, and I was having tear-ups left, right and centre, like you do when you're young, full of juice on the door. I wanted to see if I had it to fight sort of thing, there's a big difference. I didn't know the difference, to be fair. I just knew that it was to be a disciplined and controlled fighter is totally different to being aggressive, meathead out on the street, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I wanted that challenge, you get what I'm saying? There's a few factors throughout life. Like I was told I could never sort of lift weights. I got to nearly 19 stone. Benching, my biggest bench I think was 170 kg, squatting like 300 kg. I used to love the gym, and I got told I couldn't weight lift, and I took that as an obsessive attitude that I was going to do it. Managed to get to the size. I nearly killed myself doing it. Don't get me wrong, but you do if you abuse steroids and abuse your body like that. But it was an achievement. I got to sort of thing. I was a weightlifter. I wouldn't say I was a bodybuilder. I think that's taking something away from the discipline that these bodybuilders have got. But I was definitely into my waist. Do you know what I mean? And then I just challenged myself to have that one fight, and just thought that would really tick the box. But I think maybe losing it in front of that many people on the stage, like I was running security firms at the time. Colton was running security. We was looked at, you know what I mean? Like people knew I was, sort of thing. And losing the fight, I felt, because I didn't really know much about boxing and the discipline it takes and the fitness, I knew I could do better. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So was it straight on after the unlicensed boxing? Was it straight onto the bare knuckle after that?
What happened was I was boxing till I was, what was I? I was 32 on the unlicensed scene, so I'd done it for 4 years. I got to quite a good level. I had a few belts, British title, European title, and I was winning fights, sort of thing. And my trainer was a professional trainer at the time, my pad man, Kevin Lilly. He was a a professional trainer at the time, and he said to me, "Have you ever thought about going over?" Sorry, and I was like, "I don't, Kev, I'm too old." And he said, "Listen, you train harder than most pros do. I'll sit at the board with you, and we'll go for your license. Even if you achieve having one fight." And I was like, "Fucking yeah, I want to do that. See if I can do that." So we did. We sat the board. Back then, you had to go and like the board come to your gym, and they sort of tick that they watched you spar, they watched you do pads, they watched your fitness, and then they decided. Obviously, this is if you haven't got an amateur record. I had no amateur record, So yeah, they come and sat me, watched me spar. Chris Agadura sparred. Good man, Chris is. Went out of my league for my first sort of like professional spar. You know what I mean? I watched him on telly, I think, a few weekends before. But yeah, no, it was great. And I got my license. No, in fact, you know what? I was knocked back for my license, first of all, due to medical issues. And I sat the board. I went up, just the same sort of thing. I was saying the reason, like the same things where I was told I couldn't weight lift. I sat because the board's done, so it's so official, it's so cloak and dagger. Then I had to go and sit and appeal. I appealed it, and I got granted my license. And we said we was going to have one professional fight. I ended up having 6 at 3 different weight classes. One 4-round fight, then a 6-round fight, and then I had 4 8-round fights. 2 of them were for the challenge titles, and I won the international challenge title when I was professional. Mate. So we set it out. I think I started professional when I was light heavyweight. Yeah, I was. And my last pro fight, I fought at title weight at middleweight, which was another achievement at the age I was. My last professional fight was 36, and he was 22. Tom Stokes, little fucking rocket. He'd had like 98 amateur fights or something. He was 8-0 as a pro. I was training to match him at the time. They offered me the big show, Birmingham. Go down there on a big show sort of thing, Matchroom. Like, it wasn't a Matchroom show, but they had something to do with it. Kid Galahad, I think, was boxing, actually. Because at the weigh-ins, when I walked in, he come up and spudded me because I was with my little Matchroom, obviously, and he knows them well. I don't know fucking no one, mate. I just walked in there, fight sort of thing. But he spudded me and gave me a man hug, and he had his world title over his shoulder. As he walked off, I was like, fucking hell, like, that's a world champ. Like, I'm probably a little kid. But I lost the fight. I got down to 11 stone. And it was like Tom had 8 hands. He was 22, I was 36. He fucking stuck it all over me. He stopped me in the second round. But like I say, he hit me with a jab in the first round, and I didn't recover. Everything went white and stayed white, from that first engagement. I'd under-nutrition myself to make the weight. I think I took the weight more as a challenge than anything else. And I had a 6-pack for that fight, but 6-packs don't win fights, you know what I mean? Especially not at fucking 36. So we retired, mate. We retired. I didn't want to cut it. My manager, Colgrave, said, like, I can get you fights with people your own age, Paul, professionals your own age. You're the fittest sort of 38-year-old man I know. You're going to do well, sort of thing. And I said, I don't want it, Cole. Like, I don't want to have picked opponents due to whatever. If I can't cut it, at the competitive professional championship level sort of thing. I'm not talking about fucking world titles. I'm not a div. But I just mean these challenge titles that I was fighting for. Obviously, I had dreams of ever fighting for a British title. Because what I used to try and do is, where I was training at Matchroom, keep myself fight fit. So if anyone pulled out, there was a professional there ready to rumble. Do you get what I mean? I never got a chance. Tom Stokes was my biggest fight. But yeah, anyway, that was that. We retired then because I just knew I couldn't cut it. With that
There's
level
loads of fighters these days who get the lucky chance of stepping in and they end up winning the fucking title and that, don't they?
You know what it is? That it's hard to find now people that step up to these names. Back then, it was a little bit different. It was still a little bit, politics. But nowadays, they find it hard to fill the gaps of the opponents that will get a fighter that will want to fight and win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's the professional game.
100%, mate. It's terrible boxing now, like the way it goes on. Can you hear me there, mate?
So again, mate, sorry.
Broke up a bit there. I said it's terrible the way that boxing, it's the way it goes on now, all the political side of it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to understand careers have got to be built, but I think sometimes you don't need to be building them careers on massive shows, taking high money off people, spectators and supporters.
Yeah, 100%. So when did the call come along for the BKB?
Well, I was retired for 2 years, and I sort of went into I was training harder retired than what I was when I was professional. It was sort of I was trying to feed the fight. I was training a lot of other fighters.
Yeah,
I was PTing a lot of people, but it just wasn't flicking the switch, and I was depressed. That's the real word. I hit depression.
yeah,
I just was. I just weren't myself. I didn't let it show. My family and that didn't really know no difference, but inside, mate, I felt like shit. And yeah, I'd heard, I'd heard from an ex-fighter that BKB was paying $6,000 a fight. And the faults of bare knuckle, to be fair with you, mate, used to send shivers down my spine. I'd watched a few straighteners in my time, been involved in a few, and the old bone on bone thing used to really, make me think, fuck this. But yeah, this fella was getting, BKB, have you seen it? It's at the O2. I was like, what, there's bare knuckle boxing at the O2 arena? Because obviously I still thought it was illegal. The only bare knuckle fight I'd seen was on sites when I was younger,
yeah.
And this fella shows me this thing on his phone one day, and I saw all these thousands of people watching this bare knuckle fight at the O2. And I just couldn't believe it. I honestly couldn't believe it. And he said to me, yeah, $6,000 a fight. Like, that's well worth it. And I thought, you know what, $6,000 a fight. I've got 4 kids. I've been retired for 2 years. I'd sort of like, I've been training, I've been paying the bills, but not sort of like, I'm not enjoying life, you know what I mean? So I want to fight myself.
Yeah.
So I sat with Mrs. Dan and I said to her, listen, I said, these boys here, they're running bare knuckle fighting at the O2, paying $6,000 a fight. I've got this mad idea in my head that I'll literally contact them, say I'll fight anyone. I'll fight 4 fights, sign a 4-fight contract. So in my head, I was telling up, it was like 24 bags in my pocket. You know what I mean? Like, I've got 4 kids and a family, I know, money in sort of thing. So I'm thinking, fucking 24 grand, 4 fights. I fight King Kong, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, literally, yeah, and that's just as a father trying to get money for his family. That ain't even that I'm hard on that. I'm not trying to give it a big speech. But anyway, I contacted Jim Freeman through Instagram, would you believe? And I said, hello, I'm Paul Hilz. I don't know quite how to word this, but I've been told that, your purses is quite high for fighters. I'm an ex-professional. And for the right money sort of thing, I would come out of retirement and fight anyone. And I think the sort of conversation went saying like this: how much have you been told? And I was like, $6,000 a fight. He went, mate, that is beer talk, that is pub talk. Whoever's telling you that, that's not what we pay, Like, don't get me wrong, there's fighters in the organisation that might get that, but they're not first-time fighters coming over, blah, blah, blah. He was really sweet, he was genuinely bang on. He was just honest, and he just said, like, and then he went to me, like, who are you and what do you want to do? And I said, no, look, it's not like that, mate. I said, I don't want to be the old, yeah, I'm an ex-professional, I'm double hard, I can do this bare knuckle thing. He must get that 10,000 times a day. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? So I said, look, I'll cut it there, mate. I said, because it's not what I thought it was. If you're not in, like, if it's not the pay, it's not, I'm not interested in fighting. I don't want to waste your time, you know what I mean? And that was it, sort of thing. And, we both just sort of ended it, mutual sort of respect, goodbye sort of thing. And that was it. And then about a week and a half, about 2.5 weeks later, I got a WhatsApp or maybe an Instagram message or maybe even an email. I don't know what it was. And it was Jim. And he was like, listen, mate, I've looked at your profile. I see you're ex-professional, blah, 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 blah. We've got a fight. We need a fighter for such and such a date. I think the date was only like 3 weeks away or something. And I looked at the fighter. Don't get me wrong, but it was Greg. It was my first fight. Fucking hell, I forgot his name now. Greg, something they call him. But yeah, anyway, it was him, and they said like we need to match him. Like, would you want to fight? I looked at him, and like I say, but he had had bare knuckle experience, but it wasn't nothing, you know, fucking tasty as such in my eyes. I'm not saying whatever. And I spoke to my missus, and then I said to them, you know, what sort of money are you going to pay? And they actually paid me on my first fight like as much money as I got paid for my professional title fight, but that obviously was 3-minute rounds over 8 rounds. What Jim was asking me to fight was 3 minutes over 2 rounds. You know, sorry, 2 minutes over 3 rounds. So, yeah. So the money to fighting amount of time ratio was fucking considerably different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then obviously it's bare knuckle, so you know I wasn't too keen on it, should we say? But I just thought, you know, money's money, and I know I can fight. You know, in the worst case scenario, if it all goes fucking wrong in there, I can hold my own. You know, even if it is going, you know, the wrong way, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So we agreed to the fight, and yeah, I didn't really know what to sort of think of it. I just went through camp like I would with my pro sort of thing. Like I say, I was still training hard anyway. Yeah, and we got a first round stoppage on the first fight, so that set the ball rolling.
Quality. Was it exactly what you expected it to be like? Or
No,
you're a lot more comfortable in there than you thought you would be?
Yeah, it was nothing. What didn't work for me in boxing works for me in BKB, mate. You know, like the last thing that I thought I'd enjoy, and that is the fucking twisted word for it, is getting punched in the face, you know, with no gloves on, and punching someone in the face with no gloves on. You know, it's all right when it's going your way, but in BKB, quite often there's times when it ain't going your way. You got to be comfortable with it both. Do you get what I'm saying, bruv? And
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's weird because it weren't till my second fight when Jack Arfield just opened me up like he had 2 axes in his hands. Like, you know, within the first 40 seconds, I had 5 massive cuts that needed stitches on my fucking head, face, eye. It weren't till I went through that, and I'm so pleased I did in my second fight, that I sort of really found out what BKB is about. You know what I mean? He jabbed me, and he split my eye with like a 5-inch flap, and it like I didn't even see the punch as such. I didn't feel the punch, and he'd scarred me for life. You know what I mean? That's the bottom line. He'd give me a cut that needed stitching and surgically healed with a jab. You know, and that was within 40 seconds of the first round. BKB's ruthless, you know. Yes, it's ruthless, mate. You know what I mean? Even when you win the fight, you still get a fuck smashed out.
Yeah, it's fucking meant. Did you see the fight between Danny Christie and Decker Heggie?
Yes, I did, bruv. Yeah, prime example.
Massive, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There's no like it's just ruthless, you know. It takes a certain sort of. That's why I don't like it when you might get a bare knuckle fighter that gets slagged off, but you know the man deserves some form of respect. He's a bare knuckle fighter, you know. He's above the rest straight away, you know. So I don't know, you know what I mean. That's just personal opinion, but yeah, it's a ruthless sport, and I never thought that. I never thought it would light me up like it has, you know. And yeah, it's crazy.
They say it's a lot safer than boxing, though, don't they?
You know what? I do feel that. I mean, I've
You
had
don't do so much damage, can you, with the gloves off?
yeah. I mean, I think it's safer for brain cells and actually things like that, but it's definitely not safer for cosmetically. Yeah, like if you like me, you enjoy a tear up. You're getting cut every fight. You know, I reckon I've definitely got say 15 scars, and I've had like 8 fights, 9 fights, or whatever it is. Like every fight, I've grabbed a couple of cuts. You know what I mean? And nothing, from scrapes, from nothing. Yeah.
Have you had any bad injuries out of the BKB? Like hands are out?
No, touch wood. I've got my hands on my wood table here. No, my hands. I've snapped tendons in my hands, and tendons. What they are is on the night when the swelling's getting bigger, your tendons are sore as fuck. But over the course of a few weeks, mate, that's sweet as anything. Like I'm a grafter anyway. Like I've always used my hands. You know, like before fighting, I was always building or doing or whatever it may be. Messed about, I was banging my hands up and. Yeah, I think that sort of just throwing weights around in the gym and things like that. I think that gets your hands, the grip when you're working on your grip, lifting heavy weights. I've done that for fucking years, you know what I mean? I think that helps with the strength in your hands.
Yeah, 100%. What did you feel? How did you feel when you got your record, the knockdown record?
Yeah, I mean that's another crazy thing because
Just lost me a little bit there, mate.
whole camp was built on taking it not so word because first I come up and I lined up with him, I could see he was chomping as the referee's talking to us. He was really chomping down. I thought he's going to come and take my fucking head off. So I thought, no, I've got something for that. I went back to the corner and Paul went, don't throw your right hand first. I went, no, boss, I won't. He went, use your jab. I went, yeah, I will. Fucking went out there, run over and just went wallop with a massive overhand right. And mate, when it landed, like he grabbed my, I think where he had a bit of MMA background, as he went down, he grabs my legs, but I thought I fell over the top of him with my sort of Superman punch type thing. So I didn't really know what gone on. I didn't even know if the shot had landed, to be fair, because I threw it at false. I didn't even see his head, you know what I mean? Like, I was proper through it. Yeah, and when it landed, mate, I mean, yeah, it's just fucking, it was priceless, you know. And I really get on with Bash. Like, I do get on with him. It's not like, you know what I mean? It was obviously before we fight, there's no respect. After we fight, there's well due respect, you know.
Yeah.
But to get a world record like that, and to think that it possibly can't be beat. Although, like, I know there's the not because it's not class. It's not a knockout. It's a knockdown.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's great, bruv. You know what I mean? Especially to get that, obviously, entering BKB, not knowing where I'm going with it, and then ending up pulling that out at fucking 39. You know what I mean, mate? I'm quite buzzing.
Class. Have you got any fights that you're wanting in the future? Anyone you've got your eyes on?
Obviously, I just want anyone in my weight. Yeah, at the minute, the top of the tree is Canelli's fighting Castro for the British title. You've got Sweeney and Jones. Obviously, I fought Jones and I fought Castro, lost to both of them for the British title. I do think that, like, I know it sounds corny and all this shit that every fighter says, but when I fought Barry, I just don't think I turned up. I can't buy nothing on shit camp or nothing. I maybe think that maybe it got in my head like it used to in the boxing about that discipline of boxing. He's just going to outbox me. And I think maybe there was just a bit of hesitation. I didn't mean there to be, but I think naturally it came out. And I got fucking chinned, you know, and that's, again, got educated in bare knuckle of how ruthless it can be from one shot. I thought I was all right. The first time I was all right. I would. When he got me the second time, like, mate, my senses were fried. I didn't know. I thought I was getting up and thought I was answering the ref and everything. Mate, I was fucking out of my head, you know. So that was another education, you see, in BKB. So now I'm prepared, you know. I've had that. Yeah. And then Nathan took me all the way and beat me. And he did beat me. And I've heard that him saying some things in his interview saying, yeah, Paul says, Paul ain't said fuck all. I'm not the one that's ever said, I thought I beat him. Yeah, that's everyone else talking, saying, oh, we think you won. Nice. If you think I won, fair play. I think I didn't do enough that night. Nathan just out-hustled me. Yeah, he didn't do nothing pretty. He didn't do nothing dominantly. All he done was he out-hustled me. When we was on a rope scrapping up, I'll give him 2 uppercuts to the fucking chin. He gives me 6 body shots. You know, it don't take fucking great maths to work that out from a judge's point of view. Nathan's the busier, you know what I mean? Yeah, I learned from that fight. I won't make that mistake again. You know, that's my first 5-round fight. It's my first fight that got out the first round. You know, it was my fucking 7th BKB fight, and it's my first one that got out the first round. I didn't know what the rounds took, you know. Yeah. With Stitz, I knew what the rounds took, and look what happened. I dropped him in every fucking round. I finished him in the 4th round. That's how it's rolling. Yeah, I know now. I know the gauge of what's what. Yeah, Nathan, I didn't. I was stepping off, which was letting him work. But in my head, I'm thinking, oh, no, I need it for the next round. I didn't need fuck all. I could go 50 fucking rounds. I didn't know I could. You know what I mean? In my head, you train, you think, yeah, I'm going to be the fittest I've ever been. Till you fucking walk that path, you don't know how fit you're going to be. You know what I mean? You don't, yeah? And I'm 40 as well, so it's different. It's a different sort of cardio I've got to hit. You know, these boys that are 26, 27, 30, even 30, even 35. That 5 years is a big factor when it comes to cardiovascular, you know? Yeah. And, yeah, you know, I now know, and I'm fucking on it. I'll fight any of them. You know, I want the titles. I want the big names. I want my name to be up there with them. You know, I really do. And I respect and I've got love for a lot of the big boys in the company. But if the fight's there, it's there. You know, we're going for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. I hope you do get another shot at the British title because
I appreciate that, bro.
I mean, one of the
these boys are all fighting
BKB
the
fight
April
for
thing.
me.
These boys are now fighting on the April thing. So theoretically, I don't know where I stand. You know, after the winner of that, the winner or loser of that, I take it. It makes sense if I fight the loser, if you get what I'm saying. So then maybe get a shot at the winner.
Yeah.
But I was promised a shot at Nathan again, or them realms if I got a win under my belt. Obviously, Conan pulled out on me and fucked me right up, because we was obviously fighting for the right to have a rematch with Nathan. Because he done that, Nathan got the fucking golden ticket to just go up and fight whoever he wants now. And fair play, he's a fighter. He needs to make these tactical decisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Conan fucked my chance up. You know, nothing to do with Nathan. That's Conan. And fucking, you know, who does that? You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, 100%. Have you got any fights lined up in the pipeline or anything in talks or out?
Well, this is what's happening, bro. Because obviously April show, that's everyone my weight having a sort out to see who's going to be champions and see who's about whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know about. BYB contacted me straight from the show. So did Jim, and said, you know, let's get you out to America. I don't know whether they wanted a rematch with Stitz. I don't know whether that's on the cards. I don't know what, or they just want me out there fighting whatever. No, in fact, you know what? I don't think that is on the cards. I think they want me fighting someone else. Jim spoke to me and said, listen, get your passport sorted and, you know, get out there. I wasn't too, you know, I still set my sights on whatever was going on in London at the BKB here. And then I thought, fuck it. You know, if the Americans want me out there, I want to fight everyone in the world bare knuckled, any opponent out there, you know, get the bigger the show, the better, you know, and traveling out there and representing BKB is, and the UK is a massive, massive privilege to me, achievement, and obviously a sort of challenge, you know what I mean? I want to be victorious for everyone. So I've got a feeling.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I've got more than a feeling that's what I'm going to be doing, my man. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, that'd be great, that, mate. Be good to see. Just before we wrap it up as well, Paul, I was wondering if there's anyone you want to give any shout outs to or sponsors or anything like that.
You know what, my man? I would, please. I'm a nightmare normally. In all my other podcasts, interviews, whatever, I always forget. But today, because obviously you run your thing so professional, I'll list them out. And if you don't mind, I would like to shout them out, please.
Mate, and as long as you want, tell anyone I'm here all night, mate.
Appreciate that, bro. Right, first and foremost, he's not a sponsor, but I work really closely with him. It's Alex, Train with Intent, on Instagram. He's my strength and conditioning coach. He's worked with me through the last 2 years. I don't know if anyone's seen that comparison of the pictures on Instagram, my Instagram story of my first fight in BKB and my last fight. I'm a 40-year-old man, and to get any sort of shape change in your body ain't easy, and Alex has made me more mobile and more sort of aware of what I can get out of my body at the right times, and the results spoke for itself in the Stitz fight. You know, when I got to really get my teeth, my strength and conditioning was unbelievable that night. I've just got to shout you out, Alex. Honestly, big you up, mate. Anybody that wants to, you know, pursue, you know, a high level in their career, sort of thing, hit Alex up. He deals with everyone, footballers. He's got girls down there that play God knows what sports, but he's helping them all out. He's got more. I think he's got golfers that even go and see him. Every single sport aspect that you want to be, you know, get ahead of, Alex can help you out. Train with Intent. And my sponsors, right, these people make it possible for the soul snatchers to keep snatching these souls, and we're going to be going out to America and really putting a stamp on that, so I've got to show my love for these. We've got Total Waste Management down at Burnt Mills. If you need any sort of recycling or waste management, please hit them up. They're on Insta as TW Limited. We've got BA Servicing, which is new to our sponsor team. They're over in Wickford, Tarmacking Company. Billy there, he's a great professional setup there. Give them a shout if you need any tarmacking needs. We've got Black Sheep Dispensary for my CBD and my recovery, my plant-based recovery. They're a great company. Hit them up on Instagram. You'll see exactly what they're about, and just quote Soul Snatcher. You get a little discount there as well. Time Bomb Tattoos over in Canby. Lucy, she's been supporting the fight and our journey for a long time. I just want to shout my appreciation to them over there. We've got Box Fit that does all our kit, our tops here, our team already merchandise. They're a great company, supported me for years on the unlicensed thing, now over at the BKB, and they're just a great company. Hit them up, Box Fit UK. We've got CMOS Co. Obviously, CMOS Gel, anybody knows about. If you don't Google it, it gives you 94 nutritions of your 102 that you need in a day. It's one of the best recovery products that I take. CMOS Co. on Instagram, hit them up. Ringmaster Boxing Gym down in Eastwood, that's where I'm based now. That's HQ, yeah, that's the church. That's where I go. We pray there, and we get rid of our demons there. It's a great gym. Please hit them up on Facebook. And Churchwood Cars Limited over in Malden. Great car sales over there. They've got high spec motors, or they've got lower motors that are more sort of everyday cars. Anything you need, hit them up. Finance available. Thank you very much, bruv.
Not a problem, mate. If you send me as well, if you want a list of the your sponsors, like the Instagrams or the websites, I'll put it all in the description on the video for you.
I really appreciate that, bruv. Yeah, no, we'll do that, please. Yeah, definitely.
Not a problem, mate. But we'll definitely catch up again, Paul. 100%. I'll stay in touch with you, mate, on the messages and that, and we'll definitely catch up again on your next fight that's coming up.
Nice one, mate. Thanks for touching out to us, my man, and good luck with everything. All right.
100%, mate. Thank you very much for your time, mate.
Take it easy, bruv. Sit up.